Hello, everyone. Something special is coming your way, or I think it is. Over the next few days, you're going to see a behind the scenes of what it's like to re-edit a movie. My good friend and director, John Hertzfeld, put together on an iPhone the behind the scenes actions of what it's like to take a film apart and re-edit it at the moment. The quandary, the thought process, the insecurity, the celebration when you do something right. In other words, the whole process of filmmaking. And also, MGM has thrown together a few clips that I think are very, very interesting. So get ready to be bombarded. Rocky 4, November 11th. Be there. Keep punching.
If I can change,
Я думаю, что каждый тоже изменился.
then you can change.
Вы можете измениться.
Everybody can change.
To this day, I just cannot describe what Rocky is. And maybe that's the beauty of it, that it just touches on a level that even I don't understand. No one goes through life without a bunch of bruised knees and sore knuckles. It's just one big battle. And I think they identify with that because quite often life makes us go beyond what we think we can go beyond. The other ones were a little bit more realistic, a little bit more grounded in the streets of Philadelphia. I thought money had transported him into a different phase. He's lost kind of like his grip on the streets. So a lot of the Rockies I tried to make dramatic, like Rocky 1, Rocky 2, the last Rocky Balboa, Creed. There's a lot of drama in there. Yes, but it's not a sports film. It's a drama. It's a drama.
So you don't consider any of the Rocky sports films?
Not even close.
You believed in me when no one else would. I really loved you, man.
I never planned to be an action actor, and it just never entered my mind. I'd always been more into dramatics. The first plays I ever did were always, the classics, and then you go into Death of a Salesman and Eugene O'Neill, and we'd start going to existential comedy like Ionesco, and so on. So even some like Camus, even did the only play by Picasso, which was very odd. Desire caught by the tail.
You don't know anything about this guy you're fighting. It's just some kind of exhibition fight. This thing don't mean nothing.
My voice is a product of a lot of things. I was born in a charity ward, so we didn't have a lot of money, so they killed the nerve here. And that's why my mouth is crooked on one side, and my voice is very, very deep. I have to keep it up. And I slur, because, a portion of my tongue doesn't form exact vowel sounds, especially THs. But it turned out to be a blessing. It made it very, very unique.
But you worked on your speech impediment in college.
I tried to work on it as much as possible. I worked on it to the point where I became somewhat intelligible, but it would never be crystal clear. I would never be doing narrations for nature documentaries. But it's perfect for the kind of characters I played.
This is gonna be a time when you're gonna have to do things that other people don't think are right. But they're gonna be right for you. And I don't care if everybody thinks they're wrong. You gotta do what you gotta do.
I remember my first reviews on Rocky. They said I sounded like an old mafioso pallbearer. Something like that. It doesn't bother me anymore. I realize it's there. I can't do anything about it. It's different. I just sound like me.
I don't want you getting upset. So you're not upset, are you?
I'm not upset.
You sure? You feel okay? You sure?
Sure.
Want to go a few rounds in the back?
Okay.
Whoa, champ.
I don't like doing a lot of takes. Anything over 3 takes, you're not prepared.
Really?
I think so. Unless it's an accident, there's a lighting problem, the wind kicks up, someone blows their lines, but people shouldn't blow their lines 3 times in a row.
Do you give everything on your first take?
Yeah.
We stop fight now.
Don't stop nothing. Let it come here. Then this fight sitting down.
Why do you think you have such ferocity?
I may not be the most athletic, but I've become very animalistic. A lot of people have this killer instinct, but for some reason mine is very near the surface. That is what I think adds a lot of validity to Rocky, because when he punches, the skill is not there, but the ferocity is just primal. And that's what gets him over the hump. It's all about what's at stake. What is your motivation? Are you fighting to eat? If I don't win, do I get deported? Something like that. I mean, what are the stakes? Quite often the stakes, I just want to be champ. Not good enough. I can't relate to that. The audience can't relate to it. So when Rocky goes in there, in his first one, his goal is just to be not another bum for the neighborhood. I just want to be able to stand up. I just want to be standing at the end of my life saying, I did it. And everybody wants that. No one expects everybody, I'm going to be this, I'm going to be a genius, I'm going to, invent a new light bulb, I'm going to walk on the moon. No. I just want to be able to stand at the end of my life and say, yeah, raised my kids, did this, pay my taxes. I lived a decent life. And I left something behind, which is dignity. Period. Because without dignity, without that sense of self, you better break every mirror in the house. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Here I am writing away. It's an ingrained habit, but it's time for another installment of the making of Rocky IV. Also, I'd like to call out probably the greatest Rocky impersonator in the world, Mike Kunda, who lives in Philadelphia, and he has the Yo Rocky Philly tours, which, if you're a real fan, you should check him out. He just wrote me a very heartfelt message, and I appreciate it. I really do. When people pour their hearts out like that, it's fantastic. Anyway, get ready for the next adventure. If you could go back and recut your film, I guarantee you would approach it with a sensitivity and a wisdom and a confidence. You go, why didn't I see that before? I didn't believe in myself as a filmmaker the way I do now. Now I realize what is really valuable.
35 years later, what is the metaphor that you're making with this different version of the fight?
A warrior is a warrior to the very end, and though he may be defeated, he won't go quietly into their good night. I just think it'd be great for him to rally so it isn't a complete slaughter. Then you go, Apollo Creed did go down fighting. He didn't go down being slaughtered.
And now it is the Russian just standing there. The Russian trying to intimidate Creed. And the Russian throws the right hand and staggers Creed another right to the jaw. Another right to the hip. The Russian trying to intimidate Creed.
Come on, pull it together.
Before Rocky could have stopped the fight and didn't. This time he's dropping the towel, but that punch hits at the same time. So as the towel drops, everything drops, his life drops. He's just a second late.
To do again, you wouldn't kill Apollo?
Never. If I had to do it over again, I never would have killed Apollo. Absolutely not. It was foolish. I thought I needed that kind of springboard to project the drama on a really great, powerful velocity forward. him in a wheelchair, he would assume the role of Mickey. And, you know, now his physicality has been diminished. We would have seen a different side of Apollo. He could have opened up to all these other things that we didn't even know about him because he's now in a wheelchair. And he would have kind of like been a father figure, mentor, brother, been really great. Like he would have been embraced by my family. Then you have his family too. Then well, what about that whole thing? It would have been
It would have changed the Rockies from there.
It would have changed the entire trajectory of all the Rockies. I mean, there would have been Rocky 5 would have never happened, and Rocky 6 maybe never would have happened that way.
And Creed.
Yeah, well, Creed probably never would have been made.
When you were writing the script, was that the theme that was prominent in your head, guilt?
Not as much. Not as profound. I thought it would be. I was thinking more of just a tale, like a great adventure. And I didn't think of the ramifications. Like, okay, he dies. It's like the death of a legend, like Muhammad Ali. It's like it has profound repercussions. I think the biggest problem I had as a younger filmmaker was lack of patience and confidence in extending the moment. I was always very cognizant, okay, the audience is going to get bored, jump ahead. Instead of giving them the benefit of the doubt and let the emotions sink in, I would rush right through it. And now I completely see the fallibility and all that. It's very frustrating, it really is. That's why I'm so happy to get a shot at this. It's like, imagine getting a shot to re-edit your life. It's like go back and do things that you always wanted to do. You know, obviously you can't do that with everything, but that's the beauty of film. So I guess I didn't peruse all this stuff in depth. And now I see, I went, oh, it was all there.
So you've never seen this take?
Never.
Since you shot it?
I've never seen it since 1985.
You can't win!
Adrian always tells the truth.
You can't win!
Adrian always tells the truth.
And the more I can mine out of this stuff, the more the audience is going to take away something besides just a fight. They're going to take away, we went through a journey. Lose this, lose that, and here we go. Keep going. This is where I'm going to go from. So I hit him, you cut around to this, and you see me then shove him out.
Get out of there! Come on, spin him out! Let's go, Rob! Get out of there!
Balboa gets out of the corner now, and now once more it is Drago backing Rocky Balboa up with a jab. And Balboa is not staying on balance because of the long jab of the Russian.
Brace yourself! Drago, brace yourself! Come on! Get up! Hands up! Come on, baby!
Balboa gets out of the corner now, and now once more it is Drago backing Rocky Balboa up with a jab. And Balboa is not staying on balance because of the long jab of the Russian.
Keep working, Rob!
And now this means more, because you didn't see it before.
It's the complete opposite of what the original was, where I take a complete beating. This is like interesting, like people are not going to expect this. I'd like to optically blow this up about 10% and do this. See how it's coming in from this angle? And right now, so you see him doing this, but then you see him coming in underneath. Not good.
You want it to be more straight.
I want it to be like that. So it looks like he's coming from above, which he would. He's 6'5". See what I mean?
Right.
Right now he's throwing a punch here, which makes no sense. There it is, right away. That's 100% better. This is a morass of self-discovery, kind of like a swamp. The deeper you get into it, it becomes cinematic quicksand. And if someone doesn't pull you out, you're a goner.
What do you feel watching this now?
I feel foolish. I said, my God, you know, like the ship sailed, circus left town. That's why this is a mixed bag of emotions right now. It makes me very angry. Gratified, but also angry that I didn't see it at the time. But isn't that the conundrum of life? It really is. If I only knew then what I knew now. There it is.
People love it. Absolute pandemonium. More than ever. Rocky's proven himself a true champion.
I'm a happy man. I really think that we nailed it. We delivered the knockout blow. I finally said what I wanted to say. I should have said 35 years ago. That man, all of us are entitled to follow our dreams, to stick to our beliefs, no matter what the consequences is. Because in the end, that's all you have, is the faith in yourself. And if you keep believing in that, eventually it will come true. I'm sorry if I sound a bit redundant because I'm excited. I'm excited about November 11th and Rocky IV. These films have been such an amazing journey because they're, I guess, semi-biographical. They sort of lay out one's philosophy that life is a constant battle, and it's how you approach it. Not with anger, but with a kind of bittersweet sense of humor. Because you just don't want to be angry all the time. It just doesn't work. And how lucky I was and meeting extraordinary foes. Because I always believe that the key to being heroic or doing something that is above and beyond what you would consider your abilities, your strengths. Fear. Overcoming one's fear is the hardest thing in the world and also the most rewarding. So I was very lucky to have been blessed with finding people like Carl Weathers, who was absolutely amazing, and I believe without him, the movie would not have been as successful. Then Mr. T, who I happened to see at a fight 3 years before he was even hired, but I never forgot him because he made an impression and his voice was so unique, and his overall persona made the movie, in my estimation. Without a serious foe, what is accomplished? And then, of course, Dolph Lundgren, needless to say, he was the last one I had in mind to go against. In Rocky IV, actually, I wanted the Russian to be this giant, hairy bear of a man. And then I thought, maybe not. Maybe I'm going about this all wrong. So I started to doubt myself a little bit, and then in walks Dolph Lundgren. And I thought, this completely threw a wrench into the works because he was, I guess, almost in a way physically perfect. Great eyes, great hair, huge, muscular, smart, and he could fight. And I went, that's it. He represents evolution, the future. Rocky represents the past. Hard work, dogmatic persistence, not very technical, but all heart. So without Dolph Lundgren, it would have been a mediocre film. That's why I'm so excited, because his character has been enhanced. And there's been so many adventures. I'll never forget in Rocky 3, I was directing it, and it was the first day we're about to film, and there's maybe 4,000 people in the stands, and they're stomping their foot, and we had a military band ready to go, and I went, oh my God, and they're playing the Rocky theme, and I'm in the best shape of my life, and I'm about ready to walk in, and I hear, stop, 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 stop. And I go, what? I have 9 cameras rolling. I go, cut, 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 cut. What? And I turn around, and the producer goes, you can't do this. We're stopping the film. I said, what? You're stopping the film? Why? He goes, you don't look like Rocky. I said, excuse me? No, Rocky he's not in good shape. He's more smooth. He isn't vain or narcissistic. He's not muscular and cut up. He's smooth. I go, let me get this right. The movie is being stopped because I'm in too good a shape? He goes, that's right. I went, seriously, I'll forget this happened, and may I proceed? I turned, yelled out to the 9 cameras, let's try it again, roll them, and the rest is history. And I marched into the ring, and there was Mr. T, and the rest is history. But it's just funny how the strangest things happen in Rocky Land.